Hi, Assel. How are you today? Welcome to our next podcast. The topic for the podcast this week is about KPIs and measuring and what are good things to measure and how do we know if a campaign is successful or not. So obviously we see hugely different results across campaigns. So how do you answer that question? How do you go about measuring and tracking?
Hey Jen, great topic. And recently, I think two or three different prospects asked us the same question. So before I tell what we measure, say that I'll just start with why metrics matters in lead generation. Because without tracking, with my past experience of 5 years, this is something that I've learned that without tracking, we are just guessing and we are not optimizing our campaign. Initially, when we started, I personally started working in lead generation. We were not measuring anything at all, and we were just blasting the campaigns. We were getting the results, but again, like I said, we were just guessing what is working and what is not working. Once you start to have a proper reporting dashboard system, it helps you with the campaign optimization. So there are different factors when it comes to measuring of different KPIs and what it represents. Everything has every different metrics have a different outcome. So if you allow me to share the screen, I can quickly show you what do we measure at SADA. Okay, so if you allow me to share the screen, I can show you what are the KPIs that we are measuring here and measuring at SADA and how our reporting dashboard looks like. So this is one of our clients. I'll just call it client X. This is their real-time dashboard, and I'll have to minimize this first. Sorry. So as you can see, this is how our dashboard looks like. Over the time, how many emails we have sent, what are the connection requests for LinkedIn, and what are the new connections, and what are the open rates. We have dashboards. And the reason why we measure every different key metrics is because it represents something. For example, in the month of April, we sent about 2,500 emails and we got an average open rate of 45%. Which is a good indicator that our email deliverability is strong and it's not landing in spam. It kind of shows you that. And if the email open rate is not good, you can just tell that something is wrong with the email deliverability. And then comes the second part, how many replies did you get out of the email sent? So we got somewhere around 5% reply rate, which is pretty good, I would say, because generally the industry standard is about 1 to 4%. So if you are getting 5% reply rate and we're getting good, healthy open rate, that it means our email deliverability is right and the people that we are connecting, or sorry, the message that we are sending is resonating with the people and they are getting back to us. So it kind of validates the data set that you are using. And the number of positive reply rate is about 20%, which kind of reassures that the people that we are, or the message that we are sending is resonating with them and it's a good message. And if the positive reply rate was around 0.5% or 1%, then we can say that our email structure is fine, the data set is good, the conversion is, then something is wrong with our call to action or the message itself, and we can just improve from that. The good thing is we had been pretty consistent with this client over the email, but I'm not just gonna go through all of it. And this is one of another clients. I'll call it client Y, and this is their LinkedIn report in front of us. We have sent about 400 connection requests. This is something to measure that because LinkedIn only allows you, I think we have discussed it so many times on the podcast, that LinkedIn only allows you to send about 200 connection requests per week. We have two profiles and we have been sending. So because we only had one profile in the first month, probably that's why it's 400 for 2 weeks. So we sent about 400 connection requests. 63 got accepted, which is about 15%. And as you can see, it's growing every month, 15, then 23, then 27. And number of replies that we are getting on each month is also growing significantly. It was about 24%, then it dropped to 10%, primarily because we started using two profiles and the second profile was building up. And right now into the third month, which is of July, it is around 17%. And individually, if you break down to both the profiles, it's about 29% and 25%. And positive reply rate is about 32%, 36%, and 63%. So again, it kind of reassures that campaign is doing well, and every uh, metric that we are measuring is representing something. So it's super necessary, Jen, I would say, to have a reporting dashboard, and that's why we here at Seda came up with this system.
Great, thanks for showing that. And for those on Spotify, maybe you can go over to the YouTube channel to see what Asel was sharing. And every different company would measure different things, but these are the core measures, right? The ones that you would like to know: volume of outreach, basic open or reply rate to positive reply rate. And I would say ultimately the biggest KPI or metric is, for your effort in, do you get the money out? So, for example, if you spend a year and you spend a few $1,000s a month over a year, maybe that's up to $25,000 for a year. Even if you close one piece of business that's worth 50, 100, 200,000, 500,000, a million, this is your ROI. So I would always say, know your numbers, because ultimately you want to know the return on your investment and you want to know what's working. I mean, you want to be able to track where your business has come from and then emphasize and focus on the things that are working. Would you say?
Yeah, I completely agree. And again, it's about building of the whole point of doing the lead generation is to build sales funnels, right? So if we have a clear-cut tracking system and we know from different metrics, we know that our emails are landing in the uh, in the inbox. We are having a good, healthy open rate. We are getting the right traction. So you can kind of predict how many calls will be booked this month and how many calls will be booked next month. And if you know your numbers, like you said, if your sales closure percentage is 2% or 3%, you can kind of do the mathematics and you would know how much new business you will get and next quarter, and how many team members you will be needing for X number of projects. So it kind of gives you an overall visibility. So that's why I would say a clear-cut reporting system is not only necessary for lead generation company, but it also helps the client as well in order to run the whole business.
Great. Sounds good. All right. I think that's it for this episode. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Likewise. Thank you, Jen.